Joining me in studio now, Michael Kozlowski from goodereader.com, just returned from Computex, the big ebook show. How are you doing, Michael?
I'm doing good.
Now, where was Computex?
It was in Taipei, Taiwan.
Is that your first time there?
Yeah.
Was it fun?
It was really good. Taiwan is probably one of my favorite cities in Asia.
Mm-hmm.
It's about 15, 16 million people, and there's scooters and cars everywhere, and just everybody is so friendly.
Uh-huh.
And if you've ever been to any other big cities like New York and things like that, people get really irate the more cars are on the street. It almost seems people are a little bit more happier there.
It was happy, and you were happy to be there. When you arrived at the first day of Computex was the big announcement here in Canada and North America, Kobo, with their new ebook reader. It was right about the first day that you were there, wasn't it?
Yeah, relatively.
Yeah.
They just announced it, and it was just released probably over the course of the last week.
Okay, so have you had your hands on one?
I have.
Well, is it good?
It is. Build quality-wise, it's the most superior e-reader that they have released to date.
If anybody.
More particularly to previous iterations of the Kobo e-reader.
Okay.
And when you compare it to a lot of other e-readers on the marketplace, just the build quality is superb. It feels good in your hands. It has a nice weight, and aesthetically, it's designed very well.
Okay, so the from what I understand from reading about it, the big thing is, of course, a touchscreen, and they've gone a completely different direction than most of the others in implementing the touchscreen. Why don't you explain that to us?
Well, they use a new kind of e-ink called e-ink Pearl, and this is the same sort of touchscreen that you might see in a Sony PRS 650 and the new Barnes & Noble A Simple Touch Reader. The touchscreen interface is very intuitive and robust. You can navigate menus, flip pages on ebooks, and veritably do everything that you need to do on your e-reader without pressing a single button.
It's all just gesture recognition on the screen with the touchscreen.
Yeah, it uses almost an infrared type of display.
That's the thing. As opposed to having an overlay, which would cut back on the clarity of the screen if you have to have a piece of film over top of the screen, they've actually embedded infrared emitters all around the bezel, correct?
Yeah.
And so it's vectoring where your finger is through positioning it from the infrared.
Yeah, so with the Kobo Touch, it's almost more responsive of a touchscreen experience than almost any other touchscreen e-reader in the marketplace.
Because literally it's a feather touch. It's where you put fingers position as opposed to the touch on the screen. I think that's pretty important designation.
It is, and it's innovative on Kobo's part. And Kobo, during their entire tenure of releasing e-readers, their e-book store, and their various applications on various platforms, Android, iOS, PC, BlackBerry, has been nothing short of innovative. So this is just a continuation.
Well, it says because they have been behind, they've been kind of the poor cousin on the e-book itself. Their software has been good, but their e-reader kind of was lagging behind the others at the point before this one was released.
It's true. You know, the Kobo Wireless, which was their second e-reader that they put out, it was a nice step, but with the Kobo Touch, it feels like a 2011 type of device where their previous devices almost seem like they were maybe a year behind or so of the curve.
Is the Pearl ink that much better?
Yes. I really like it merely because it provides a higher degree of contrast and resolution. So you get not only better quality pictures, the page turn speeds are actually faster, and you get a lot of other benefits with the Pearl display other than just how it looks.
Because the previous Kobo I found was a little slow sometimes response, especially with the direction pad, that it like you weren't sure that it had actually listened to you all the time. So you've got much more instant feedback with this current version.
Right. It also uses a faster Freescale CPU processor. So underneath the hood, making it faster is a CPU that's actually faster than the Amazon Kindle in terms of pure speed.
I wonder, as the ebook market moves into these touchscreens, if there's not going to be a bit of a challenge for them as they become so capable. People look at them and say, well, why can't it do more that the iPad can? Because it's actually providing a lot of the same interface. It would appear to be able to do more than just be an ebook reader if I can suddenly type on it and I can start to do those other things. Do you think that's going to be a danger?
I think touchscreens are just a natural evolution of ebook readers. If you look at smartphones, tablet computers, everything is getting touchscreen. And I think e-readers in their natural evolution do have to integrate features that people are just used to in their everyday life, or else they'll just be left behind.
But are they going to need to add features? Because an ebook reader is still a book reader. Is there a danger as they start to add more functions and features that they could step out of their comfort zone? That's what I'm wondering. Because the beauty of ebook readers to me is the simplicity in the fact that they're so comfortable and they do such a good job of reading a book. If they try and become more of a computer, that's where I think that they might run into a bit of a challenge.
I totally agree, mainly because the only challenge stopping e-readers from being sort of very compatible with tablets is the refresh rate. It's almost impossible to do more than 6 to 10 frames per second in terms of video, and that's why a lot of the lower budget and lower quality e-readers, when you flip a page, it seriously takes 2 to 3 seconds just to turn a book page. So anything else from surfing the internet to trying to watch a video or doing any of that sort of thing, you really suffer from a lot of stuttering, a lot of lagging, and so it's still going to be a while, I think, before e-readers metamorphosize from being a pure ebook reader to almost being a hybrid e-reader / tablet.
Got it. Now, so the Kobo gets a thumbs up on your review?
Yes.
And the price?
You're looking at about $139 from Chapters Indigo, and it's also sold at Future Shop as well.
Availability?
It has a high availability online and in the stores, although most stores are sold out. When we visited 2 or 3 chapters and interviewed the people there, they said that they would get a box in the morning, and then by the afternoon they would be all gone.
Very Apple-like sales as far as that goes.
Yes.
And what about the older version of the Kobo? Is it been completely discontinued, or is it available at a bargain price now if you want a really cheap ebook reader?
The Kobo Wireless was the version before this one, and it's actually still being made, and it has come down on price. You're looking at usually around $99 or so.
So there's about a $40 premium for the better one.
Right.
And now Kobo isn't the only people with a new reader. Barnes & Noble have brought out a new version.
Yes, they have just released their touchscreen e-reader, and it's called the Simple Touch Reader, or the Barnes & Noble Nook 2. And this is a continuation of their pure e-ink e-readers.
Okay. And is it going to be, have they changed their philosophy? Because it's been one that hasn't been that readily available in Canada. Is it easier for you to get your hands on it now?
Well, Barnes & Noble makes it a fact that if you want to do business with them, you actually have to either buy it online from Barnes & Noble, and they don't ship outside the U.S., but they do enjoy a little bit of a better distribution system. You can get them at places like Target now and big chain type of stores. So you don't have to just go to a bookstore anymore, but if you want to order it, you have to do it online through third-party
as opposed
websites.
to getting it direct from Barnes & Noble. And the other big player in the marketplace, Amazon, has they've expanded their distribution quite significantly on the Kindle.
Yes, and this is something that Canadians now can really bask in the glory of, because you can now go to The Source, or Staples now is carrying the Amazon Kindle Wi-Fi and 3G, although the prices are a little bit inflated due to them having to order them and pay duty and everything. So you can still get a better price online ordering it directly from Amazon, but if you want it in your hands here and now today, it's as simple as going down to The Source or Staples and you can pick them up there.
And then if you have any issues, of course, you can return it and all those sorts of things there. So any final thoughts on Computex? When you were there, was there anything that we should be looking for, like maybe 6 months down the road, that's going to be coming? Or
Computex this year was all about tablets.
Yeah.
There was no new e-readers there at all. There was hundreds and hundreds of tablets. Some of the more interesting tablets that we saw was the new Asus Pad phone, and this was a 10-inch tablet that didn't do anything on its own, but it came with an accompanied smartphone.
I like this idea.
And you put the smartphone and docked it in a tablet, and then whatever was on the smartphone is displayed in 10 inches.
Yeah, so it's got a little graphics chip to expand the graphics and maybe some extra storage. And we're seeing Asus and other manufacturers come up with the same sort of idea with a small little notebook computer where all of the brains come in the phone, and it slides into a receiving dock, and you've got then of course access to your mobility network and all of the cloud type computing functions. Very cool indeed. Let's send people to your website, goodereader.com, the place to go for all of the reviews on all things ebook related. Thank you very much, Michael.
Thank you.